let's find out. All right, league number 2. We're going to be running with SoulStrong's Rakdos Shadow list. So let's change the stream title. Testing out SoulStrong's Rakdos Shadow list with Ob Nixilis. And make sure I'm spelling SoulStrong correctly. Yep. Make sure we've got that. We're updated. All right, so this is a list kind of centered around Ob Nixilis, the new Ob Nixilis from New Capenna, which I will show here. Show preview. Here. Kind of the card that everybody's been asking about since the set dropped. Like, oh, 3 mana value, Planeswalker. It must be really good in Death Shadow, right? So that's what we're here to find out. So Ob Nixilis the Adversary, 1 a black and a red. 3 loyalty Planeswalker. The really cool part is this Casualty X, which if it's too small and you're having trouble reading it, I will be glad to read it out loud. So Casualty X, the copy isn't legendary and has a starting loyalty of X. And the Casualty ability here, as you cast this spell, you may sacrifice a creature with power X. When you do copy this spell, the copy becomes a token. So you cast your Ob Nixilis for 3 mana, and let's say sack like a 4/4 Scourge of the Skyclaves. You get an additional copy of Ob Nixilis that comes in with 4 loyalty on it, because the Scourge of the Skyclaves had 4 power when it died. And you essentially get 2 Planeswalkers. You get to start ticking them up, or making devils, or whatever you feel like doing to win that game. And hopefully outvaluing your opponent. So Ob Nixilis is +1. Each opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card. If you control a demon or a devil, you gain 2 life. So 2 Ob Nixilises ticking up. Make your opponent take 4 every turn, or discard some number of cards to prevent it. -2, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with, when it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. So it creates a devil so that the tick up can gain life as well. A little bit of a nombo in our Shadow Scourge deck, but we'll see. We'll see. And then -7 is effectively a Gristlebrand activation. Target player draws 7 cards and loses 7 life. But you can have your opponent draw 7 and lose 7. So attack in with a big Scourge of the Skyclaves. Second main phase, play an Ob Nixilis, hit them for 7. Might be enough to kill them. So we're going to check and see kind of how this goes. We've got 4 Shadow, 4 Dragon's Rage Channeler, 4 Ragavan, 4 Scourge, and a Dauthi as our threats, along with technically 4 Street Wraith. We've got 4 Thoughtseize, 2 Inquisition for hand disruption, 4 Lightning Bolt, 2 Unholy Heat for removal, and our 4 Ob Nixilises. So Lightning Bolt, great at like enabling Scourge of the Skyclaves. Street Wraith, Bolt, great for enabling Shadows. We've got 8 aggressive 1-drops that we might want to ditch to an Ob Nixilis if we think they're going to be not as useful. In the sideboard, we've got an additional Fatal Push, 2 copies of Turok Dreadcantor. This card's been like fantastic for me. 1 Kroxa, 3 Terminate, and things like Murktide. 2 Fulminator Mages. Haven't seen Fulminator get played a lot recently, so we'll see how that goes. 2 Nihil Spellbomb, 2 Void Mirror, 2 EE. I really like Soul Guide Lantern, but we'll see. I feel like I run into ley lines a lot, and Soul Guide being able to dodge that is very, very relevant. But either way, let's go ahead and jump into the match. Also, for anybody that's wanted to check it out, we've got the YouTube updated with the leagues from yesterday. So, like, the Lutri Jeskai League is up. The bigger Jund, the Texas-style Jund list is up. And the first league with the Murktide deck. So, if you missed any of those and you want to check them out, they're up on the YouTube. You can hit YouTube in chat to get the link. How did I like the deck? The Murktide deck? I think it's good. I think it needs a couple more lands because we weren't getting to like 4 mana nearly as often as I would have liked to. But other than that, like, the deck was solid. Our one loss today was to Affinity, which game 3, their hand was just like the nuts, like artifact land, double ornithopter, triple thought cast effect, and we just like weren't beating that in a million years. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more 1 mana interaction out of the deck, like an additional, I don't know, maybe not Dismember, but like a Blood Chief's Thirst or something. So I think it's like, it's really good if you hit the land drops at winning the long game, because you just have like a bunch of redraws and counter spells and stuff. But if you're not getting to that point, it seems really underwhelming. Alright, keep this. So now the question is, do I want to lead on Ragavan or Dragon's Rage Channeler? And I think I'm going to lead on Ragavan. In the blind, on the play. Ragavan's got the higher upside. If I knew my opponent was on a deck that was more likely to have spot removal, I'd probably lead Dragon's Rage Channeler and try to get like that immediate bauble surveil value. But since I don't know what they're on, I'm just going to go for the higher upside play. Scourge and Ob are kind of a nombo. How so? What is the reasoning there? I think I'm going to save this bauble for turn 2. Or like Channeler plus the bauble. Then if they killed my Ragavan, I'm like 3/4 of the way to Delirium already. Scourge is a demon. You'll gain life with Obs +1. Sure. Unless you're sacking the Scourge to the Ob. But I think you have enough ways to like lower your life on your side that it's probably okay. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. It could end up being relevant, but I think when you're talking about gaining 2 life and you're probably sub 12 when you get Scourge down or Ob down, it's probably okay. And at the same time, like, you don't have to tick up the Ob Nixilis. You can just like tick it down, make more demons. They did scry top with the Serum Visions. Oh, it's Storm. Storm, and we exiled a Past in Flames. Nice. Alright, so if that's the case, I'm going to try to find an answer to like a Baral here. Like, I'm going to play the Scourge too, but I really want to find an answer to Baral. Or any Baral type effect. And I didn't want that bauble because I don't want to, like, draw the bauble, cast it next turn, and then not be able to get the card until the turn after. But it might not be what I want, and I might be dead. So Really would like to find Hand Disruption. Removal spell for a mana dork. We could find both. We just like draw into Thoughtseize plus Fatal Push. Go like Thoughtseize, play out our shadow, pass the turn. I'd be okay with that. Ooh, especially if like Thoughtseize flipped over Delirium off this Channeler. So it could hit our opponent for 7, put them down to 11. We'd be presenting lethal next turn. Yeah, let's do that. So they went top bottom with Serum Visions. Alright, there's half the equation. I will put Street Wraith in the yard because that gives me Delirium. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is see what's on top of their library and then Thoughtseize, because there's a chance like I might not even attack with Ragavan if I think that that Fiery Islet is like a dead card like this. I don't care about the Fiery Islet. I can just take like the Grape Shot and attack. Yeah. And we'll just attack with these two. They can draw the Fiery Islet. Here's a shadow. So now the, what's it called? The Electromancer has to chump block if they play it out. So it's essentially a time walk turn. And I give myself the chance of just drawing into like a removal spell here. And that's kind of like one of the things I wonder about. So my opponent cast the first Serum Visions and scryed to the top. I swung in with Ragavan and exiled Past in Flames. So I would like to know what the likelihood is that they kept the Steam Vents on top, assuming that I would attack in with Ragavan and just exile a dead land off the top of their deck. Because if that's what they actually thought, then maybe the next match I go into, I should just assume my opponent is like scrying stuff at the top they want me to hit with Ragavan that might be dead. So maybe I don't want to attack with it. Alright, so Spell Bombs are great. EE is a good out to be able to deal with Empty the Warren's tokens. I don't think I need Fatal Push. I think I've got enough, like, cheap interaction here. Ob doesn't look too great. Unholy Heat can come out because it doesn't kill Baral, but Lightning Bolt does. They're usually, like, boarding down on things like Past in Flames post-board. So I'm not, like, as all in on the Grave Hate plan. So this hand's really good because I get to deal with Empty the Warren's tokens. Alright, am I going Channeler or Thoughtseize? Probably Thoughtseize here. Remand, consider Grape Shot. I'm just taking Consider as like the setup card. Yeah. The next turn I can play like Channeler. If they were manded, I can just replay it. Here's a Channeler. Next turn I can go like second Channeler plus Spell Bomb. Depends on if they like go for the Grape Shot on this Channeler. The value Grape Shot. Alright, so they do still have Past in Flames in the deck. Which, like, I would expect one to stay in. Probably not both. But they also just, like, tap out here so I can get down the Channeler. But I don't want to be dead to just a, like, decent Grape Shot. Scourge. I'm going to go ahead and start milling these in case I can find Delirium. Which I can find Delirium by sacking a Spell Bomb. How aggressively do I want to sack the Spell Bomb? Like, I don't want to just be fetching and shocking and throwing out Shadow in the face of the Grape Shot. Like, best case scenario would just be they go, like, play Grape Shot, target each of the Channelers for one, and I get to Spell Bomb. Or I guess best case scenario would be they go, like, 6 Rituals, Past in Flames, Empty the Warrens. It's like Writ, Manamorphose, Writ, Empty the Warrens. Maybe they're trying to count up if they can kill both of the Channelers. All right. Let's see what we got. There's all the known cards. Storm count's currently 3, about to be 4. Storm in this year, in this economy. Like, if they go for Past in Flames, I'm going to respond to them putting Past in Flames on the stack with Spell Bomb. But I would like to be able to exile both Grape Shot and Past in Flames. So, like, I really want them to go for the Past in Flames. Alright, what they've been. Odawara, Remand, Steam Vents. Or do they just have double bolt and kill me? Ah, they do. They found the bolt off of the pieces that they needed. Oh, man. That is a pretty good lesson for why, like, the worst place you can be against Storm is putting their back up against the wall where they have to go for it. It's like they can make some pretty crazy stuff happen if they just, like, have to go for it. But I guess kind of the thought there is if they go for it and they fizzle, then they do just get to, like, have, what's it called? Have Grape Shot to wrath my board. And if they don't fizzle, then they get to kill me. So, the downside's really not that bad. Alright, let's play out Dothy. Are we okay with Dothy? Are we reading Dothy? I'm so used to playing Shadow variants that are like 90-10 against Storm. It's kind of fun to play one that's not. Alright, let's get a Blood Crypt and play out Scourge. I guess they could have had a remand there. Would have been a little unfortunate. Am I going for like an end of turn bolt them? Hive is 4 to activate. Am I going into turn bolt them? Maybe not, but I will go response to a braid bolt you. Braid. Alright. Croxa. I really don't want to throw away this lightning bolt just to get like a little extra chip damage here. Exile Past in Flames. But at the same time, if I can put them in a position where, like, Dolphy might be able to kill despite a, what's it called? Empty the Warrens, that might be worth it. So, like, if I bolt myself down to 13, Scourge becomes a 6, 3 off Dolphy is 9, puts him to 5. No. Still not enough. We've also just got, like, cast, bolt, Dolphy, sack for Past in Flames, bolt, bolt. But this is kind of the worrisome part where if their back's against the wall and they just get like a good Empty the Warrens here, we could be dead. Or actually, no, we're fine against Empty the Warrens if they tap out. Because we can bolt them down to 4, untap, sack Dolphy, cast Past in Flames, bolt, bolt. So yeah, value Empty the Warrens is good. Alright. You have Morphosed all the mana. Come on, Empty the Warrens. Come on, Empty the Warrens. No! No! Not my Dolphy. Unless this is Grape Shot on the Scourge. So this is just like exile half their library. But this is only during their next turn they can play this stuff, right? So we bolt you. Play around Force of Negation. We'll do this on your turn. And alright. Somehow 1-0. Dolphy OP. I think that Dolphy probably gained us 2 turns there. But we were going to get them if they were going to go like Storm Count 6 or something. Try to Grape Shot your Scourge. We could bolt ourselves and ooh, untap, kill the Scourge. We had Kroxa to get back too, so we weren't like dead, but we weren't in a good position. Actually, we were probably dead if they got to untap again. Alright. What do we got? Win a die roll, that's nice. We've got the spells and cards and stuff. So we can like fetch shock on 1. And if we're getting something unfair, we can shock, bolt ourselves, play Shadow. We can also bolt our opponent and prepare for like a turn 3 Scourge. I have 0 clue whatsoever what we could be up against. Serum Visions, Dread Horde Arcanist, double Force of Negation. So, like, I do not want to bolt myself to play Shadow. So this is like a Jeskai control pile of some sort. You're gonna play down the Arcanist. Not going to play the Arcanist. Does that say anything to me? Maybe they drew Counterspell. Guess that would, it would make sense if they drew Counterspell. Which they did not. I just draw a Bolt for Scourge, okay. So this could get a little dicey. Because they get to play out Arcanist here, and they've got Force of Negation backup. So maybe I need to play out Ob Nixilis to try to bait the Force. Is that crazy? So the last two cards in hand should be Hallowed Fountain, Plains. So we'll kill this now. Say go. Well, I didn't think when we registered like a 50 tick card in Ob Nixilis it was going to be just a bait Force and Negation. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. We'll cycle another one in case I draw like a hand disruption spell. Consider. Here's this. Go. I don't mind cracking the bauble on my turn because they're not a hand disruption deck. They're playing, so they've got Consider Unknown. Okay. Kill the Scourge. So many hives. I'm gonna offer up the Shadow trade with the Scourge. Or with the Fury. And play out another Shadow. 4-1 machine indeed. Like, seems to be what we want to do non-stop. That's a really good draw from them. So I wonder if this is like a Jeskai Murktide list. But then why would you be running Dreadhorde Arcanist? Monastery Mentor. Oof. This game just got a lot harder. They bottomed an Inquisition, drew a dead card or an unknown. I'm just gonna hope they draw dead. I can't beat, like, them drawing spells here. Alright. Do I have an out here? Definitely not that. Nope. Alright, so Jeskai spells. Jeskai spells. Void Mirror could stop Arcanist. I don't think that's really where I want to be. Jeskai spells. What's my plan here? I guess hope like Shadow and stuff are bigger than whatever they've got going on. Alright. So I guess they Inquisition away my Inquisition, I guess. Yep. Let's just go ahead and no. Path of Channeler. I can like upkeep. Guess upkeep Unholy Heat. It also just like depends on what they do. So if they take my Unholy Heat, then that means Kroxa can turn on Delirium. Yep. Fetch land would also turn on Delirium and be pretty nice. Like, fetch land into Ob Nixilis might not be too bad. Let's do that. Let's get fetch land into Ob Nixilis. Don't have another bolt. Dang it. Dagnabbit. What you got coming up? Another bolt. Okay. That does not come into play untapped, and it does not give us Delirium. Jace, sure. So I like have to find Delirium like this turn. Okay. We had to be able to get that Jace going. So next turn I can cast Ob Nixilis unless this is like Snap Inquisition. Nope. Alright. Yeah, so this is kind of what I was saying before this league started, is I feel like if Ob Nixilis isn't getting the casualty, like the card is just not great. So they swing in for 8 here. I go down to 9. They play Borrower. I'm just dead next turn. Or do they just have like second Murktide? So it's like 4 color control Murktide something. We've seen Jace the Mind Sculptor, Murktide Regent, Monastery Mentor, Brazen Borrower, Unearth, Dreadhorde Arcanist. What else? Lightning Bolt. That's a lot of directions to pull your deck. Got the Dreadhorde Arcanist, Murktide Regent combo. Maybe they got like Drowning Locks in there. I don't know. Ugh. I would love some more lands. But, all good. On to the next one. What do we got for round 3? Somewhere out there, there's an opponent who wants to play us. I don't know where they are. I don't know who they are. But they're in this league. And they're ready to throw hands. But in the meantime, we're gonna... Oh, I gotta add... what are we playing? Rakdos. Shadow to the notes page so far. So what have I thought so far? In our 2 games, we're gonna put Ob Nixilis with a big frowny face. We're gonna put is that all I'm putting? Yes, for the moment. I don't really know what other notes to put. We gotta find an opponent and play. We gotta make notes. Alright. Strix 66. Probably could have done like Strixty-6 as well. Oh boy. Yorion. Yorion mulling to 5 is a lot better than Yorion keeping 7. So kind of the hope here would be like Ragavan gets to hit once, or if they deal with Ragavan, maybe they have to like fetch and shock, and we get down Scourge turn 2. Damn. I have no idea what we're up against. Is this just like a Co-Diamonds Abzan list? Is that what's going on here? Let's go. Thought sees you. Tarmogoyf, Turok, damn. So let's say I take Tarmogoyf and play out Scourge. And they damn one of my guys. I get to attack, play another Scourge. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. We'll play some... Takanuma gets back creature or planeswalker. So let's play Kenzen. Yoriog. I don't think Yoriog. Yori something. So what I'm kind of thinking here is if my opponent plays the dam here, like on my Scourge, I get to attack with my Ragavan again, play out another Scourge, and hopefully I'm in a position where like Kick Turok just doesn't really do anything. I also like really want to know what their color combination is. This like a 4-color pile? Like what is going on? I see Dam, which is like heavy double black, double white, with Noble Hierarch Tarmogoyf, and then Yorion back here. So like my assumption is just Abzan Yorion pile. So we're playing the value 2-drop Turok game. And then I'm going to not do anything because I don't want to play into the dam. Forward a channel. Yeah, we're just gonna pass. So confused. This has got to be a Kevin creation. Like, it just has to be. You can't convince me it's not. No amount of money in the world would convince me this isn't a Kevin deck. It's like if they kill my Scourge here, they kind of have to or they're dead. I guess that answers my question. I was going to say, like, do I want to Takenuma back a, we can do it. We get to do the thing. We get to do the thing. How's Ob working? This is the first time we've cast it relevantly. Yeah. Thank you, additional costs. So we get to put 2 Ob Nixilis on the battlefield. And this 9 loyalty one gets to -7, target them. So they lose 7 life, draw 7 cards. Oh, man. We did the thing. Overkill skill. Let's go. I wouldn't say I'm sold. Like, that was the first time that we've cast Ob Nixilis, and it looked okay. And it was literally just a fling. So, take it with, like, a really big grain of salt. I can probably bring in a couple Terminates. The leagues are way more spiky than F&M. People in leagues play competitive tune decks. Michael's leagues. Hold my beer. Yeah, let's play 4-color something pile and Abzan, Yorion, and Storm. But every other time we've seen Ob Nixilis, it has not looked good. So I mean, I think just about every shadow deck, like, needs to be playing green and Tarmogoyf right now. All the other threats are just so inconsistent, and you lose games by not having consistency. Probably going to put together Spike's Rakdos sack list in paper. I haven't seen a sack list, so I'm assuming I could probably name like 80% of the cards. It's just like Mayhem Devil shenanigans and probably some amount of food stuff. Asmo or Cauldron Familiar. Kaya's Gal. Channeler, Monkey, Tarmo, Shadow, and Ob Nixilis would fit. I think if you're wanting to like really push Ob Nixilis, that's about where I would start. This man's playing Hex Drinkers. In the year of our Lord 2037. He's playing Hex Drinker and he's not leveling it up. Oh, man. Opponent. So close to respecting you. Not gonna lie, they had me in the first half. So we'll see if we can get them to pump mana into this Hex Drinker. But yeah, like, I think if you're wanting to play Ob Nixilis, if you have found that card to be the answer that you need, then I would start with a list with, like, at least 16 relevant threats. Possibly more. And go from there. Nope. Try again. Alright, so am I going Scourge? Or am I going Kick Turok and get the last two cards out of hand? I could go like Kroxa plus Scourge. I kind of just want to get the last two cards out. Damn and Toski. This is absolutely a Kevin list. Toski. Kevin list, 200%. Yeah, I think the Turok value is just like too much to pass up there. And if they don't kill the Dolphy here, I can sack it to get the Dam to kill the Spirit token. Why attack first? Mainly because I'm like trying to set up Scourge into Ob Nixilis here, and I need to get my opponent's life down lower to do that. But here, if they just take my my Scourge, I'm gonna have a bit of an issue. So now I wonder, am I supposed to attack with Turok and play Ob Nixilis? Alright, land means it doesn't matter. That means I can attack with Turok, croaks away the last card, Ob Nixilis my Turok and just, like, go to town on their life. I think that's probably best play. So yeah, I should have Croaked before the Turok attack. I'm aware. Let's go. Lose 2, lose 2. And now I've got like double Ob Nixilis activations plus Croaked getting back next turn. Let's hope this is enough. So I'm pretty sure they can survive this. Yeah, they can definitely survive this. They ditch something, a non-land card to Croaked. Discard to one of the Ob Nixilises. Choose to keep for the other Ob Nixilis. Ooh. Might not be able to survive that, though. So, you discard a card to this one. You discard a card to this one. Then I play an EE on 0. And pass the turn. EE on 0 hopefully wins. I'm about to get blown out by like a what's the card? The split second, destroy an artifact or enchantment, like 2 and a green. It's all over the place in Commander. God, what is that card? Legacy Lands used to play it some. So now I've got this Ob Nixilis is lethal. I've got this Ob Nixilis plus Croaked. Crows and Grit. Yeah, that one. Just doing all this more because I want to put, like, the Fear of God into my opponent. I want to get rid of anything they possibly had before I... minus this Ob Nixilis. Yeah. Ob Nixilis, too good. We're going to change our Ob Nixilis frowny face into an Ob Nixilis unsure. A little bit better, but we're still uncertain. Like, I look at that game and think, okay, well, we Ob Nixilis, or we won with an Ob Nixilis, but what if we just, like, kept the Turok swinging? Like, were they beating the Turok? I don't know if they were. And at the same time, like, if our opponent had leveled up the first Hex Drinker instead of Prismatic Prismatic Ending our first Ob Nixilis, like, we would have lost on the spot to that Hex Drinker. They just said, like, cool, taking it up to 4, but I had no... Hex Drinker was nowhere on my mind, so I was not about to play around it. Super Mom. It's harder to beat 2 walkers than 1 creature. Yeah, but when the 1 creature has protection from your only dude on board and, like, every relevant removal spell in your deck, it's a little bit better. Come on, Ragavan. I know you're not hitting, but... Boo. Boo. Cycle another one. And another one. Red Black rocks a hard matchup. Easy to me. Oh, you mean this one? Yeah. Probably. Depends on if our Ragavan hits something relevant off their library for the first time ever. That's relevant. I would love to play your Dark Confidant. Thank you. Red-Black rocks a hard matchup. He just gave us a Dark Confidant. How hard can it be if your opponent's just, like, donating you Confidants? Oh, we got Street Wraith in our deck, don't we? Ugh. That could get a little dicey. We do get to start firing up Hive. Or that. So let's start by swinging in. See if our opponent's nice enough to just let it happen. K command, kill our Ragavan, get back there, Ragavan. Sure. So we're still going to hit you. Then we're also going to Thought Seize you. Ragavan, Liliana, Turok. So let's take Liliana, play out Shadow plus Fetch land. And if they want a Turok, they're more than welcome to. Sergeant Pepper, you gotta put exclamation point before the deck list. Like, voila. And it will lead you right where you need to go. Alright, so I'll wait till after the Confidant trigger to see if I want to fetch or fetch and shock. There it is. So you do just have them dead if they don't block the shadow, which is kind of funny. So Yeah, I'm going to attack with both, and if they don't block the shadow, they die. If they do block the shadow like this, I think I'm just going to cast a Street Wraith. Is that my best plan? Yeah. We're just casting a Street Wraith. Hiya. That's a, it's an unblockable 3/4. Mari, nice to have you back. I appreciate it. Always glad to be around. Ooh. Ooh. This shadow gonna kill us. Not before we kill our opponent. That one. Yeah. Do we need like an Ob Nixilis kill count? Because I'm not gonna lie, that's actually been relevant a lot more than I thought it would be. Ob Nixilis from the top rope. The people's elbow of Ob Nixilis. Oh, man. What fatal push? Is there anything that like fatal push hits that other stuff doesn't? Not really. Picture Ob Nixilis giving somebody like a stunner, stone cold stunner. Sure. Not a great hand, but we got some redraws, we got threats. Pretty Thoughtseize proof. Opponent looking at this Ob Nixilis like pretty sus. Gonna like croaks at me. R. I will ditch this Ob Nixilis. Alright, we need second land. You're about to see the fattest redraw a Scourge of the Skyclaves of 2022. Would have preferred the Scourge. It's fine. It's fine. All good things. I do think I'm firing off a lightning bolt at their face, though. So that if I draw this land, I can play a decently sized Scourge. Like so. Like so. No. Why do you hate fun? So if they play a Croxa, I can ditch Lightning Bolt. When they play Croxa, I can ditch Lightning Bolt. And then we totally draw into something relevant. Almost. Almost. Ooh. Into the bugbear. Alright. Dang it. Dang it, Bobby. Fire up that den. Really weird looking den. Yeah, I'll dash a Ragavan. I'll just pass the turn. If they want to play Ragavan off the Dolphy, that's fine. I'll also be happy bolting a den. Ooh, baby. Ready for the fattest cycle Street Wraith into a lightning bolt ever. Cast that lightning bolt. Ah, come on. I guess they do have one of my lightning bolts exiled. They might go for that. Not. Okay. Surely you're not trying to make this race. This definitely does not favor you. Terminate. Okay. Ob would be a good one. Oh wait, they can get back Kroxa here. Alright, so I ditch Street Wraith. Now what's happening? They attack him with Dolphy. I'm attacking back. I think they have to block. Oh, what are they getting? Shadow? Okay. So, playing that or holding it doesn't matter. Matt, what's up? Kind of surprised they got the Shadow there. I feel like there were a lot of better options. Like, just attacking with the Dolphy. Maybe like exile another relevant spell from me. Yeah, you don't really have a great attack into the Scourge. Ooh. Let's find something. That's a pretty good one on their side. Ditch a Hidetsugu. So do I have an out? Don't think I do. Not with 3 blockers out now. Four blockers out. Yeah, I'm just dead on board. Ooh, I draw a little bit better than that. That game is just like 100% Croxa, right? How are the obs? We've had 2 or 3 cast ob for lethals. I think 3. But every single time it's been like Ob Nixilis as a teamer battle rage was great. Ob Nixilis as a 3-mana Ob Nixilis has been horrendous. So that's kind of the comparison. Fling Ob Nixilis S tier. Everything else about Ob Nixilis, not quite so much. I probably should have looked at this hand a lot closer. We're like doing nothing here. I guess like the brightest part about this hand is if they Croxa, I get to like ditch a swamp. Dolphy's fine. Go ahead and be mana efficient and kill that. Punished. So this is like K command, kill Channeler, get back Dolphy. This is not. Alright, so if I just ditching Shadow, think so. Kick Turok. Alright. If I find the land, then Hive can attack down Liliana. You out of here. Get Liliana out of here. Alright. Still need some help. That was a good turn, but need some help. We're Not really sure what that help would look like. If they just have like answer to the hive, then I'm in like relatively bad shape. Why would you let me attack? In your deck that like actually cares about the graveyard. Ugh. Exiled Hive Channeler. So we need Scourge. Alright. Attack with the Dolphy, but at least they can't attack with the Turok. I guess they can. Maybe if they have a bolt or something. Might as well attack with the Dolphy. Like, you're not sacking it for an eye. You can't block with it. I'm just gonna like aggressively go to attacks and see if I can get them to block with this Turok. Down to the wire. Down to the wire. Just draw dead for a couple turns. Do it for me. Another Dolphy. Alright, can't attack with the Turok. It's like a Liliana. Oh man, I'm going to be so sad if this is Liliana. Hidetsugu, okay. Just needed a removal spell for the Turok. Oh, come on. Draw dead. Nuke the graveyards. Don't care. Just give me a dead draw. That's dead. Oh, they can play Channeler. They can play my Channeler. Removal spell for the Channeler. We've got like 12 of them in the deck. Yeah. Where are all our removal spells? Fire up Den. Ah, man, we were so close. I guess we can still top deck an Ob Nixilis. Ob one time. Holy heat. Okay, so this kills Spyro. Then they have to block Scourge with the Vessel. Where was that last turn? I don't think holding on to this land does anything. Bolt my face. Den is not lethal. If they've got like Kroxa plus Den, it is. Like Ragavan Dash and Animate Den. Another Spyro. Can't catch a break. Can't catch a break. Alright. Show me an Ob Nixilis off the top deck. I've done everything. Oh, now it's just a removal spell? That was a bad attack. Removal spell, Ob Nixilis. Removal spell, Ob Nixilis. So many draws. Jeez. How far down? That was the next live hit, was 12 cards away. So many draws. Like, if we just find Second Threat or Ob Nixilis or Removal Spell. Ah. Oh, man. Whew. Alright, on to the fifth match. What are we hoping for this round? Not that deck again, that's what. Greatness at any cost. I love my opponent's tag here. Apparently the cost is mulliganing to at least 5 cards. 4 cards. Are they on Tron? 3 cards. Guaranteed Tron. 2 cards. Not like this. Not like this. Any cost, but not this cost. I assume at this point, if you mold to 2, you just kind of like... I wouldn't even play a land. I would make my opponent make the first move and then use the information going into sideboarding games. Yeah, like, I wouldn't have even played that land. I would, like, let them thought seize me and then scoop in response or something to that effect. Wooded Foothills. So, Ponza would mold fairly aggressively. I don't think, like, Boomer Jund would mold that aggressively. I mean, unless you just have, like, no land, no land, no land, no land, no land. So I'm going to assume, like, Ponza and, like, board in a couple Terminates for a couple Street Wraiths and call it a day. But yeah, watching an opponent mold a 2 is rough. I don't want to win a game that way. Not only is it like not great content, it's just not fun. Oh, never mind. Is it what's it called? Calibrated Blast. If it's Calibrated Blast, everything I said went out the window. I hate my opponent. They deserve to mold a 2. They're a terrible human being. Yeah, like, everything's gone. My opponent's a bad person. They deserve to mold a 2. I don't actually think they're a bad person, but I'm gonna say it. Alright, so we have, like, no way of dealing with Calibrated Blast. So we're just gonna hope it whiffs. We should be able to survive 1. I guess that's a plus. Forget that terrible card's an instant. I would love to see, like, double lightning bolt here. I would not like to see double land. Oh. Playing Scourge without Teamer Battle Rage just feels so bad. Like, that's how you get out of situations like this, is drawing Bolt Battle Rage and just going like, okay, fetch Shock, cycle Street Wraith, Bolt you, Battle Rage, Scourge. Have I tried Black, Red, Midrange, and Pioneer? I have not. I've only played like 4 matches or 3 leagues, something like that, of Pioneer, period. So, Calibrated Blast for 4. Still alive. Second Calibrated throws, sure. Survey says. Nope. All right. The epicness. We got a YouTube subscriber. Nice. So Void Mirrors can come in. So they can hit Calibrated Blast off of throws. Fulminator can come in. Really not much to go off of here. That's all my removal spells I need to get out. Do I want a Terminate or 2? Just thinking if I want to be able to kill like a Scion of Draco or a Shadow of Mortality or something like that. Nah, I'm just gonna run with it. Turn 1 Ragavan. Yeah, turn 1 Ragavan into turn 2 Thoughtseize Scourge. is about as good as I'm going to have a chance of getting. My deck absolutely cares about Draco, because anything that they can do that time walks me is a problem. Like, big problem. Like, I'm not dying to the Scourge. I'm dying to the Calibrated Blast that the Scourge prevents. Or the Scourge enables them to cast, because they're not dead. All right, Jonathan. So you see this this whole situation where I can't attack through a Scion of Draco? I guess I can attack the Scourge, but all this is doing is buying me a turn. Probably care about 3 Scions. Yeah, a little bit. Trying to think if there's any argument for like killing the Draco being better than casting the second Scourge. I don't think there is. Don't blast me, bro. Like, I got fortunate that they fetched and shocked. That was like bailout. Give me a Calibrated Blast. Now, if they double block a Scourge, I can bolt myself and trade off all of the Scourges or all the Dracos. So now they Sekenzen. I'll bobble them before I do anything, because if I see like Throes of Chaos on top, then I'll just sit back with the Void Mirror. But I do not, so we're gonna trade with some derpy tokens. I feel bad about it. Yep. The last 2 cards are Sekenzen and Academy, and they're drawing into another Academy. Oh, man. We just find a bolt. Life would be a lot easier if we could just find a bolt. Bolt, Ob Nixilis. Thank you. Thank you, deck. Just boom. Okay. What did I think about that league? Ob Nixilis is good as a teamer battle rage. But, like, there might have been one turn against Abzan where I cast Ob Nixilis and won because of the casualty trigger. Like, since it's as an additional cost, you sack a dude. That's a little relevant against the removal decks. But, like, Ob Nixilis isn't a good, grindy, mid-range planeswalker. So, like, the decks that are heavy in removal, I feel like I don't really want Ob Nixilis. I'm sure there's some number of games where, like, Ob Nixilis, Scourge, hit yourself, draw 7, could be okay, but I just don't see that being, like, a very high likelihood. I think it's more like wonky combo Ob Nixilis. But I think it would be a lot more relevant. And somebody mentioned it earlier. Ob Nixilis and Jund. I think that's the case. I think it would look a lot better in Jund Shadow than it would in, like, Rakdos like this. Because I would see games where you have, like, turn 1 Hand Disruption, turn 2 Tarmogoyf, turn 3 Ob Nixilis, sack your Goyf after you've swung in. Like, those games would look a lot better. If you're like, hey, here's an Ob Nixilis, or 2 Ob Nixilises, they're both on 4 loyalty, ticking up to 5 on turn 3, and now they're threatening, like, turn, 5 or 6 ult. And it doesn't even have to be, like, a bad thing to target yourself and draw 7. Because you could have turn 1 Swamp, turn 2 Forest Inquisition, turn 2 Mountain Ob Nixilis, and, like, be okay. But, like, Ob Nixilis on turn 3 is just a bear planeswalker, was not good. Scourge did not feel good. There were some games where, like, Scourge was relevant, the mid-range matchups, but there were also times, like against Abzan, where my opponent didn't fetch for the first few turns, and I just had a Scourge sitting dead in hand. And that's one of the reasons that I've been off of that card for a while, is your opponent a lot of times, like, has to do something to enable your Scourges. 2 Ob, 2 TBR. I don't think so. Like, I think if I want a TBR effect, which I do if I'm playing Scourge, I'd rather just play TBR and not the Ob. Like, those games against Rakdos where we wanted a removal spell or an Ob, a removal spell or a Teamer Battle Rage would have done the exact same thing. But, like, Teamer Battle Rage would have looked way better against Storm and the Calibrated Blast deck and stuff like that. And Ob, like, wasn't even good against the Rakdos deck. It was good against the Abzan deck, but it was literally just the play it, sack a 7-mana dude, 7 volume. It's like anything that could have done that. Fling, Teamer Battle Rage, all would have been good in that same situation. Sideboard. I don't like Void Mirror. I don't think that card is very relevant. Like, I get that it hits the Cascade stuff, but I feel like you would just rather play more Dothies or something if you care about the Cascade stuff. But I just think Void Mirror is, like, a very offhanded card. It doesn't really fit what you're trying to accomplish the first few turns of the game. So, just my 2 cents. I also play 4 Dolphy in this deck. Yeah, 4 Dolphy would have been better. Like, I could even see going up to 4 Dolphy, cutting like a Scourge, some Street Wraiths or something, and being fine. if you're just like wanting to jam Ob Nixilis.